The story begins during humanity's last fortress at the Dusk City. Several enormous dragons died in this world. During the disaster, there is an old man with long hair and a long beard holding a staff. He was called a great sage. Beside him is the so-called timekeeper. The thin man wearing a white cape was losing hope for their world. This man is willing to burn his body and even his true soul to open a time passageway for the great sage. Please bring our hopes and leave this era, he stated. He believes that the great sage wisdom will certainly change humanity's destiny in another era. According to the great sage, the forbidden gods who know the mystery of time best are keeping an eye on them. They are part of this era, and he declared that no one can break free. He pointed his staff on the ground and a golden light emerged surrounding the area. He raised his staff and he summoned a golden book. He was hoping for the people who are not from this era to change humanity's destiny. He then creates a passageway going above. But someone suddenly speaks, telling all the humans that before their fated extermination, any futile struggles will only make them pitiful. It was the forbidden god that appeared with many tentacles. The great sage and the timekeeper were surprised upon seeing it. As per the forbidden god, any petty hopes will be swallowed up by despair. He was going to destroy the passageway and told everyone that humans in this era along with their pitiful hopes turned into this era's dust. The great sage closed his eyes and accepted that they are dust, but he also claimed that they are heroes. He then raised his staff and he started to vanish. All the humans in the area knew that the great sage was starting a sacrifice ceremony. This era is coming to an end. It's about to become dust. The humans became emotional and followed the great sage to burst into the end of this era's fireworks without regrets. As the people from the past, they present the people of the future as a gift. It will go against the flow of time's river to a distant place. For humanity's future, planting a seed of hope. This is a time of the olden days of riding wild beasts. Riders depend on all types of powerful beast partners to explore the world, establish a gathering place, and enjoy this world's first-rate resources. Outside of gathering places, dangerous beasts are everywhere. Blacklight Gathering Place has been on the edge of the dangerous wasteland for the last 100 years. The Fort Master is an extremely powerful rider. Blacklight Castle's special training process was also established by him, and he has also been Blacklight Gathering Place's doorbolt for the past 100 years. Inside the Blacklight Gathering Place, there is a thin man standing while looking at the board in front of him. His name is Su Heng, our story protagonist. On the board, there is a notice about riders. If within 3 years they will succeed in hatching, they will be instantly included in a gathering team. Su Heng sighs while holding his huge egg. He sits on the drum as he feels down for not being reconciled. Tomorrow is the last day of the 3 years, but his egg has no signs of hatching. He was sitting peacefully while accepting his fate. But then, he saw something from above. It's like a golden light and it's heading towards him. The passageway appeared and he was hit exactly on his head by it. He falls on the ground together with his unhatched egg. His eyes were still closed, but he saw a dragon with long nails, sharp horns, and ruby eyes, and above is a lady rider holding her long sharp weapon. While he was still dreaming, he heard a voice waking him up. When he opened his eyes, someone pointed a whip on his cheeks and asked if he slept in this area last night. He immediately gets up and the man in front of him has a gun and armor on his shoulder. According to him, trainee riders who are undergoing special training have no right to stay in the castle overnight. He shouted to Su Heng as he waited for an answer. But then, Su Heng was confused and realized that what he saw last night might be just a dream. The dream he has is a gigantic dragon with a powerful dragon rider. He still did not give an answer, so the man became more annoyed and hit him with the whip. Su Heng falls to the ground while holding his face, which already had bruises. The man smiled and confidently said that Su Heng will report to the search team to explore outside the gathering land with other low-class stragglers. He accused Su Heng of violating the curfew, and he wondered if Su Heng would make it out of the wilderness alive after 12 whips. He was about to hit Su Heng once more, but Su Heng's beast egg began to crack. Su Heng and all the people look at the egg. Su Heng is very excited while holding his egg, thinking that he finally succeeded. He raised his egg and declared that his 3 years of hard work didn't go to waste. The man's reaction who hit him began to change. He suddenly treated Su Heng nicely and said that what happened was just a misunderstanding. Su Heng, I'll immediately call the special training official to confirm your rider identity. After, I believe you have a big success, he stated. But then, a lady suddenly appeared. She was a member of the special training named Lu Yu. She ordered Su Heng to try to communicate with his egg. Su Heng was confused about how to do it but still tried it. After he spoke, the egg crumbled again and Lu Yu said that it was a sign that his egg responded. Blacklight gained yet another rider, she stated while holding Su Heng's shoulder. Her eyes rounded when she saw a bruise on Su Heng's face. Su Heng pointed at the man who hit him, so Lu Yu awarded the man 20 whips and sent him out to the gathering land to survive. This will be his punishment for hitting a rider. The man cried and begged to spare his life, but Lu Yu ignored him and walked away with Su Heng. They go to a huge castle and visit the fortress. Master Zhuohe, is this the first newbie for this half of the year? Zhuohe asked. That's right, I heard he was originally going to report to the search team, but who would have thought that he would unexpectedly succeed? Lu Yu answered. She also added that Su Heng's reward should not be small. Zhuohe senses that Su Heng is very determined to persist to the very last moment in order to succeed. He gives 2 choices for Su Heng to choose from. Option 1, since his beast is a scaled lizard, Su Heng will give him dragon scales containing a high-ranked dragon-type bloodline which can speed up the hatching. When it hatches, it'll be stronger than most other scaled lizards, and in addition, there's a small chance that it will be affected by the dragon's bloodline, which will greatly increase its strength. Option 2, when it comes the time for Su Heng to raise another beast, Zhuohe will let him choose from his personal collections. Su Heng chose the first option, which is the dragon scale. Zhuo acknowledges his choice and he will send someone to bring Su Heng at the dragon scale. I hope you don't lose heart in the future, and I hope you will bring great contributions to our gathering land. He added. Yes, Su Heng answered while tapping his chest. Outside the Black Land Gathering Land Castle, it's split into 2 districts. The inner district of the Gathering Land is where comparatively more rich people live, and the area is relatively cleaner. The outside district deserves its name for being dirty, as it's where the poorest people live. This is also where Su Heng and his elder sister live. At this moment, Su Heng was scolded by his sister because she was worried that Su Heng didn't come home last night. Su Heng explained that he went to the castle wall early in the morning to try to find his sister, but he couldn't get in and could only wait at the entrance. All of a sudden, someone knocked on the door, which made them stop fighting. The one who came is the fortress subordinate, bringing some goods that were given by the fortress. Please accept them. I wish you good luck and I hope Beast's advancement goes smoothly, the man stated. Su Heng and his sister were shocked upon seeing it. When the lady realized that her brother had succeeded, he then hugged Su Heng out of excitement. She knows that if their parents were to know that Su Heng succeeded, they would also be overjoyed. Su Heng tried to resist his sister's hug as he was shy, since there was also someone with them. They all got puzzled, and her sister then realized that she needed to go to work. She left immediately, leaving these 2 men cluelessly. She slammed the door, and Su Heng doesn't have a choice but to deal with it himself. Meanwhile, he's already alone while holding the box that was sent by the fortress. When he opened it, it consisted of a dragon scale. A yellow smoke suddenly emerges from it, going onto Su Heng's head, which makes him recall information from the Great Sage. It consists of information about the lizard scale. His sweat drops from his forehead. He then realized that a lizard can become a dragon. Adult dragons are the top danger species, which can easily wipe out an entire small colony. The intermediate rank danger lizard Su Heng has in his hand is 2 completely different species. He believes that the dragon bloodroot is like purple-brown root, so he was confused if it's useful. Even the previous genius girl who shocked the castle lord was accepted as displaced by him to teach her personally. But the first pet that she hatched was just a high-ranked dangerous species. Su Heng was thinking that maybe if he can hatch a dragon, he can also be the fortress disciple. He rushed to the medicine shop and bought something. He then mixes the medicine and puts the egg above. He also made a pentagram using normal ink. He put the egg in the center and a golden light emerged from the pentagram. The egg crumbled once again and a golden shadow of a beast came out. It was like a powerful huge beast, and the shadow went back inside the shell. It slowly disappeared, and when it completely vanished, the egg started to crack and the beast was ready to come out. Su Heng felt nervous while waiting for it to confirm whether it was a lizard or a dragon. After 4 days, at the training center, the rider was busy training their battle skills. In this area, Lu Yu is the one who trained them. She felt emotionless when she overheard someone gossiping about Su Heng. These riders underestimate Su Heng, since Su Heng already skipped training 4 days in a row, and believe that Su Heng became arrogant after he became a tamer. Unexpectedly, Su Heng finally came, and the trainee was thinking that Su Heng will be punished. Trainer Lu, I skipped for some reason, Su Heng stated, and Lu Yu asked for a reasonable reason from him. Su Heng then took a glance at his bag, ordering someone to come out. From his bag, there are round yellow eyes with blue fur. When it completely comes out, it's a top danger species dragon. Everyone was shocked upon seeing it. Some of the trainees sense a strong pressure from it, and Lu Yu confirmed to them that it was really a top danger species dragon. She then headed to the castle lord with Su Heng to report the important matter. He was also surprised to hear the news. He cannot believe that Su Heng hatched top-ranked danger species on his first hatch. He then ordered Liu Yu to find out who is responsible for making Su Heng's egg, and also to immediately notify the bureau to deduct 3 months' worth of salary. According to him, making a dragon egg instead of a lizard egg almost ruined the future of a genius. The city lord knew that Su Heng had a hard time in the past 3 years. He believes that if Su Heng will obtain a normal egg or even a high-ranked danger species, he might have already made an extraordinary achievement. But all hardship comes with rewards. With this dragon as Su Heng's starting point, he will definitely not be weaker than anyone in the future. I won't disappoint, Castle Lord, Su Heng answered. He is very gratified that tamer training can create a genius like Su Heng who is not only talented but also tenacious. He pointed to Su Heng and offered him to become his disciple. Su Heng was surprised upon hearing it, and even Liu Yu was shocked. It's been 3 years, and the castle lord, who's taken in by Su, had the idea of accepting disciples again. I'm willing, teacher, Su Heng answered. The castle smiled and asked Liu Yu to summon all the tamers with no mission, as he was holding a banquet to witness the birth of another talented tamer and to celebrate the fact that the castle lord had accepted another disciple. The banquet continues until night. Su Heng and his elder sister were escorted by the castle's guard. They're sent home with a carriage. When they went inside, Su Heng proudly informed his sister that he already had a monthly allowance of 100 grams of gold. When he gets enough money, he will buy the old house that they sell. His sister pinched his cheeks and was amazed that Su Heng really grew up. Su Heng bids good night to his sister and sits in the chair that is in his room. He was ready with the golden book of the olden days. The most common distinction between normal creatures and dangerous species is whether they are born with the talent to use energy. The techniques of using energy talent are called skills. Skills are the key factors that determine the combat ability of a tamed beast. Dragon is top species and is naturally not weak in energy talent. Other than common vicious attacks, the 6 skills are, among dragons, dragon sleep can quickly restore physical energy and recover injuries. And most of the racial abilities are possessed by lower-ranked dragon races, low-rank dragon power, and lower-rank dragon might. Earth-type strong destructive skills, Earth Spear Sacrifice, and the same Earth-type recovery skill, Earth Power Absorption. What's worth mentioning is Earth Power Absorption and Dragon Sleep fit with the dragon's vitality. It will become very tenacious, and it will become an invincible cockroach. Lastly is the Strong Demon type skill, also Dragon's strongest skill, near low-rank Dragon Breath, Destructive Power, Demon Breath. Su Heng focused on reading the book. He took a glance at his little dragon who is sleeping, and he believes this beast will become a strong beast. To his surprise, the small dragon suddenly gained weight. He was frightened, thinking that the dangerous species' growth speed is really abnormal. The next day at the castle, He together with Su Heng is in the tamer training room. The castle lord suggested Su Heng to test his dragon's talent for the 3 energy talents, but he should pick one of the training first. He's main force is the demon type. Su Heng was shocked upon seeing his teacher's tame seal. A tamer seal is a special item that can keep the huge tamed beast in the internal space to sleep so that it can sup up the recovery of energy. After all, once a tamed beast becomes an adult, it will be very large in size, and it's impossible for a tamer to only have one tamed beast. Thus, bracelets, necklaces, brooches, watches, earrings, pendants, and many others are created. The castle lord summoned a scarlet demon wolf that was born with a lower rank but has been nurtured and reached a high rank. It was also one of Su Heng's master's main beasts in the early years. He stated that this wolf will be perfect for testing Su Heng's dragon. Su Heng felt nervous upon hearing it. As per the castle lord, the scarlet demon wolf is a mix of demon and pure beast attributes. He then pointed at the dragon and let this dragon stand alone in front of the scarlet wolf. This dragon rattled because of how big the scarlet wolf is. Even his sweat started to drop from his forehead. Su Heng motivates him since he notices that the dragon began to be scared. Scarlet Demon Wolf, use Demon Breath, let the little guy watch and learn, take note of the power. He ordered the wolf. The wolf then followed what he said and used his Demon Breath. The wolf was about to blow it, but he stopped him, which made Su Heng confused. But when he looks at his little dragon, it's surrounded by purple smoke and its eyes become red. Because of its appearance, he concludes that this dragon is a smart little fellow. The little dragon was ready to blow while Su Heng motivated him. But then, when it blows, the power has gone and only a normal blow has been done. As per Juohi, this little dragon has initially comprehended the energy of demon energy. The purple smoke is the embryonic form of the demon breath. Su Heng got a treasure because this little dragon is talented and has begun to comprehend the skill. Scarlet Wolf didn't have to do any tests, so the castle lord dismissed him. The little dragon breathed deeply when the Scarlet Wolf was gone. But then, Juohi summoned another beast, which is his ground platypus, an earth beast demon, and a special rank scary type of beast. He ordered this beast to play with this little dragon, but Su Heng's little dragon hid into his feet. He was so scared that he shivered to death and began to cry. Su Heng reminded the castle lord that a special rank scary type is not suitable, so Juohi called another one of his beasts. This time has giant feet, sharp fangs, and a long tail. This beast is one of Juohi's main force: fire attribute, dragon attribute, demon attribute, earth attribute, a perfect combination, and also his one and only dragon-type tamed beast. He called this beast Lava Tyrannosaurus. Su Heng and his little dragon were jaw-dropping upon seeing the giant beast in front of them. According to Juohi, this little dragon is lucky to tame his dragon since it is not a newbie. He also stated that many professional veteran tamers want to tame a dragon-type beast. Su Heng remembers the book he luckily got, and he decided to keep this book a secret. "Are you ready?" Juohi asked. The Lava Tyrannosaurus' eyes rounded as a sign that he responded. The little dragon looked so scared, but the city lord still ordered his beast to show up a little power. The Lava Tyrannosaurus roared loudly, creating a powerful blow, causing Su Heng to almost fall to the ground. He feels such pressure from this giant dragon as if he's on a small boat in a stormy river, and might be overturned under coercion at any time. Since he seems like he cannot hold it anymore, Juohi holds his shoulder and advises him not to stand within the attack range. The pressure has been removed, and Su Heng was still in shock about how strong it is to reach such an extent. To their surprise, Su Heng's little dragon managed to hold on. Juohi ordered his Lava Tyrannosaurus to give more pressure, and the Lava Tyrannosaurus roared once again. But still, the little dragon stood still and tried to hold on longer. Even though it's very weak, it uses a low-rank dragon power to face Tyrannosaurus power. Juohi can't believe that this little dragon can have such a talent. He predicted that in the future it might break through the shackles of scary species and reach greater heights. Su Heng was getting more excited upon hearing these words from his teacher. Juohi suddenly remembered the dragon scales. Su Heng informed him that he used it right away after it was delivered to his house. Because of what he said, Juohi concludes that the little dragon has absorbed the special substance contained in the dragon scale very well. It's even possible that it has successfully inherited the trace of dragon blood within the dragon scale. This caused the dragon talent to suppress other talents by far. Juohi handed a book to Su Heng. He has sorted out a training method and skills and reproduced them in the form of a spirit seal into this book. And it also comes with the most suitable basic mind training method for Su Heng. Juohi reminded him not to neglect his mind training while he trained the tamed beast, since the spiritual power is the strength of the tamer, and also the foundation of taming beast. Su Heng was glad that he received this kind of book from his teacher. He then thanked the castle lord for his appreciation. After leaving the castle, Su Heng bought back the old house. When the seller knew that Su Heng had become a tamer, he became very sincere. Before Su King got off of work, Su Heng rearranged and cleaned the old house. While he was cleaning, he heard a frightened voice. He then rushed to the area upon realizing that it was his sister. His sister Su King looks so scared since there are two black big dogs in front of her. The dogs keep roaring, and behind them are the owner with his two companions. "They only want to play with you," the owner stated. Su King is very frightened, asking the dogs to go away. "If you are willing to accompany and play with me tonight, my dogs will not play with you," the owner added. Su Heng overheard what he said. He immediately rushed to the dogs while holding a brick. He used the brick to hit the dog that is much near to him. The blood splattered on the ground, and Su Heng then went to his sister. He madly shouted at the gangsters to stay away from his sister. "Don't think that just because your dad is the director of the plantation, everyone has to give you face," Su Heng said. The owner of the dogs was worried about his injured pet. He became mad and ordered his remaining dog to bite Su Heng to death. The dog then rushed to Su Heng, and Su Heng ordered his sister to run away. The dog jumped towards him, and he tried to block the dog using his one arm. While he looks frightened, his little dragon becomes berserk and jumps and bites the dog's neck. The dog fell on the ground and his blood splattered from his wound, but the little dragon kept biting him. Su Heng was glad to see his little beast capable of fighting without fear. The owner and his friends were shocked upon seeing that the dogs were defeated by a little beast. They then get their knives with the intention of killing Su Heng and the little dragon. They rush towards the dragon, and Su Heng cast a dragon power. A purple smoke comes out and the dragon's eyes are still red. The men were confused as they sensed a powerful sensation. They feel frightened and believe that they should be more cautious this time. 3 guards suddenly came and asked what they were doing. Since there are guards coming, the man whispered to the dog owner to make Su Heng handcuffed since they have room for maneuvering if anything happens. The dog owner smiled at the idea and is planning to concoct Su Heng after he enters the detention room of the security team to make him unable to do anything. By looking at Su Heng, he also planned to cripple Su Heng and enjoy his sister Su Heng. He cannot accept that his dogs die for nothing. One guard knew the man and he called him Master Gu. They asked once again about what they were doing and the dog owner, Gu, went near the guard and pointed at Su Heng, accusing him that he murdered both of his 2 dogs in a cruel way. Because of it, the security captain ordered his subordinates to capture and lock Su Heng. 2 of you, quickly go, handcuff him. The captain ordered. Brat, you dared to kill young Master Gu's favorite dogs. Then, you better obediently surrender. Don't make us use violence. The guard uttered. Su Heng threw the brick in front of them. He told them that the brick is the one who murdered the dog, so they should punish the dog and not him. The guard pulled out a gun as they were mad at what Su Heng answered them. The little dragon's peaks made the guards dumbfounded. Because of its eyes that became red, the guards believed that this dragon is not a normal pet, but a tamed beast. Su Heng showed them a card. It's a card that shows that he is really a legit tamer. The guards were frightened after knowing that the person in front of them is one of the tamers in their city. They called their captain while pointing to Su Heng. The captain feels nervous while thinking that the famous new disciple that the castle lord accepted could be Su Heng. He grabs his gun and shoots above, calling Gu and his companion presumptuous. He pointed the gun at these 3 young men. You guys actually ganged up with others to commit crimes in the street. It's extremely presumptuous, the captain declared. He then ordered his subordinates to handcuff Gu and his friends. And he also gave the guards permission to kill these men on the spot once they'll do anything bad. Gu repeatedly said that he is the victim. He even boasted about his father's position. But then, the security captain punched him in the cheeks. Who dared to be rude towards me, slap him. The captain permitted. The guards then punished the 3 young men. The captain then approached Su Heng. Lord Su, this bastard act dared to commit murder with dogs. Luckily, you acted bravely. Otherwise, I don't know how many disasters they would have caused, he said. Su Heng responded by acknowledging that they handled the case in a timely manner. The captain then thanked him and was willing to punish these men. He asked Su Heng if Su Heng is satisfied with it. But then, Su Heng doesn't care and whether they die or not. He will still find them after they are out of prison. Lord, I understand, the captain answered. Su Heng then called his sister and invited her to go home together. It's fine, we can go home now, he stated, and Su Heng gladly smiled and held Su Heng's hand. They both then walk away while the guards look at them. The captain wondered which should be better to offend between the plantation director and the tamer. One guard then answered that it's better to offend the plantation director since they don't have any idea how they die once they will offend a tamer. The captain then agreed with him and demanded his personnel find a vehicle to drive these young men to the garbage incineration site. And their plan is to kill these 3. At the house of Su Heng, his sister Su Heng is very excited that Su Heng managed to buy back their old house. Su Heng then handed the key to his sister and told his sister that this is just the start of their better future. Su Heng holds his hand and tells him that she has faith in his brother. She also said positively that their future will definitely get better and better. While they are talking, someone knocks on the door. Su Heng decided to open it by himself. It was the deputy director Guo of the Plantation Management Office. Su Heng also came out and asked his reason for visiting. He then informed Su Heng and Su Heng that he received news from the security team that Ding Quan's son actually offended Su Heng. And now, his main reason is to give some help. He plans to transfer Ding Quan to number 3 planting and farming just like a normal farmer. Although wild beasts are rampant there, accidents happen often. But according to him, Ding Quan always said before that he can adapt well to any position. He will declare it as soon as Su Heng is satisfied with the agreement. Su Heng smiled at the idea and even his little dragon agreed. Not just that, since Su Heng is also a senior agronomist in their plantation system, he's willing to transfer Su Heng to the agronomy department of their management office and work as a deputy director. Su Heng was surprised upon hearing it and she thinks she was not suitable for the position. But then, the deputy director forced her so Su Heng accepted the offer. Su Heng smiled upon realizing that he can get more privileges once he can become a stronger tamer. Meanwhile, Su Heng prepared a lot of food for his little dragon. This is an excellent recipe that the city lord gave him. It's specially made, suited for his little dragon's body growth, and can help the dragon to become stronger. There are 8 ranks in total for the formula for breeding beasts, from inferior to qualified, average, good, very good, excellent, extraordinary, and perfect. The recipe that Su Heng gave him is a demon-type breeding beast that is good for rank. The recipe is considered good for a newbie, but when he observed his beast, it didn't eat after 2 bites, so he concluded that there might be an issue with the ingredients. He then remembered the book from the olden days. He opened it to find something useful. As per the book, after the dragon is hatched from the egg, it will devour eggshells and stop eating for a long time. As earth attributes, dragon attributes, and demon attributes combined, the nurture recipe for it must not be balanced but must be emphasized. At the same time, it's very picky like living things. After reading the book, Su Heng realized the main problem. He then patted his little dragon's head while saying that he will change the recipe. Since he can get money from Su Heng every month, he's willing to spend more for his dragon to eat better and grow big quickly. In the next few days, Su Heng made food according to the book. He's very determined to line up to the market and buy some goods. He made it by himself and followed the instructions from the olden book. His dragon enjoyed it very much, but it also caused a little problem. On just the 5th day after Su Heng received his salary from the castle lord, he only had 1 gold left. But the good thing is that his dragon grew up. He sighs and accepts it. Even though it ate many and made him broke, it indeed grew and became a juvenile stage. He believes that if they encounter those 2 dogs that they found difficult to kill, his current dragon doesn't even have to use skill to kill them. It can naturally fly and bite, claw attack, tear it apart, and can kill dogs easily. This standard of scale, normal people can't even harm it. He's afraid that guns are useless against it, and even 5 normal people fully armed will get instantly killed. Su Heng remembered that Su Heng told him that once his dragon becomes a juvenile stage, he needs to find Su Heng. But, in just 5 days, it became a juvenile stage. It's unheard of before. Maybe the recipe from the book is extraordinary or even perfect rank. If so, he needs to be careful not to expose this big secret. Now, he needs to focus on training the skill and making the dragon familiar with the skill. He needs to stop feeding it for at least 10 days. 10 days later, Su Heng came to the castle together with his dragon. "It's been a while since I last saw you. Why were you slacking off?" Su Heng asked. Su Heng reported to him that he had been trying his best to nurture his dragon for the past few days, so he didn't come to train every day at the castle. He then shows up his dragon, which is now bigger than before. He informed the castle lord that his dragon successfully entered the growth stage by feeding it the food and nurture Su Heng formulated. Su Heng was shocked upon seeing Su Heng's dragon. "I don't think I'm considered fast," Su Heng kiddingly said. Su Heng hit him and compared him to his past disciple Baisu Ice Lotus Pod, which took a full month to become a growth stage. Also, Baisu Ice Lotus Pod is the only high-rank danger species, 2 ranks lower than Su Heng's dragon. Su Heng let his teacher think what he wanted to think. As long as he didn't pursue a growth rate, it would be fine. It seems like it's not only talented in skill but also in growth, Su Heng stated. Since the dragon is nurtured to the growth stage, Su Heng said that it should also be familiar with skills. At this moment, Su Heng's dragon power has been enlightened to the 1st level, and has 2 abilities developed: Dragon Power Deterrence, and Dragon Power Might Shock. Its demon breath has also been enlightened to the 1st level and developed into a shadow ball. The city lord becomes more shocked upon hearing that Su Heng's dragon has been trained in such a short amount of time. "Teacher, thanks for your teaching," Su Heng answered. Su Heng did not tell Su Heng about the earth spear sacrifice and the evil assault, which was comprehended on his rooftop the night before. Su Heng invited Su Heng with his dragon to the training ground to see how much his dragon had grown. At the castle lord's exclusive training ground, Su Heng is ready to show off his dragon's skill. Once Su Heng will be satisfied, he will give Su Heng a tame seal. This helps the dragon to become larger and larger. Before their training started, Su Heng glanced at his dragon, thinking that it depends on his dragon to get the tame seal. Su Heng then summoned his tough armor rock bear, which made Su Heng and his dragon frightened. Su Heng was shocked that his teacher had another tamed beast aside from the beasts he saw on his first training. According to Su Heng, he doesn't have weak beasts. The scary ones which he tame are around 20. Standard like tough armor rock bear and lava tyrannosaurus. He only has half of the amount. "Show me your combat ability. It's time I test your training result," Su Heng ordered. The bear roared in front of Su Heng and his dragon, and they both stood still. At this time, Su Heng's dragon activated Dragon Power Deterrence by itself, which made Su Heng surprised. Su Heng smiled upon witnessing Su Heng's dragon able to withstand the complete pressure in the growth stage. He then ordered the tough armor rock bear to stop roaring. Zhuohe this time will let Su Heng's dragon use demon breath and attack. Now, use the demon breath shadow ball. Su Heng dragon. His dragon followed what he said and blew the shadow ball going towards the bear. The shadow ball was hit into the bear's forehead, but it didn't leave even a small scratch. Kid, have you not eaten anything? It's only tickling my bear, Zhuohe stated. Su Heng smiled and then ordered his dragon once more to use the demon breath shadow ball continuously. The dragon cast several shadow balls which hit the bear's forehead multiple times until its head crumpled, leaving Zhuohe's reaction to be surprised. He's also glad that Su Heng's dragon developed the skill well on its own, making use of attack with demon energy, continuously firing. Yet, accuracy and speed is all good as per Zhuohe. Even though conscious attacks make the enemy unable to dodge, Su Heng realized that it cannot break the bear's defense. After witnessing the dragon's capability, Zhuohe was very satisfied and as promised, he gave Su Heng his tame seal. This beast tame ring will be his now. It has a lot of space, enough to hold 5 beasts. Zhuohe stated that Su Heng will not be worried about his beast's size. It can actually hold 10 beasts if his beasts are willing to squeeze. As per Zhuohe, even though Su Heng's dragon's skill development is not bad, it lacks combat experience. Combat experience will only be gained in fights. Now, the city lord decided to send him to the garrison of the North Frontline. The defense line there allows him to have many opportunities to fight dangerous species. Zhuohe ordered him to report to the military headquarters 3 days later. There will be someone who will arrange his mission. There are 4 defense lines outside of the high walls of the Black Lantern Gathering Place, guarding the gathering place. Each defense line is composed of a solid fortress, tamers, and strong weapons, soldiers. Among them, the South and North defense lines are the most dangerous ones. They fight against dangerous species almost every day. Most of the materials related to dangerous species in the city come from the hunting results of the 4 major defense lines. For these 3 days, Su Heng asked to be paid in advance for the tamer's allowance, a full 2,500 grams of steel, half exchanged for dragon's food. He spent 3 days making all the formula food that can be preserved for a long time. Under the arrangement of the outer fort military, Su Heng will head to the North Section No. 7 guard post, serving as a team member. The 4 lines of defense of the enclave were largely established for the plantations in the wilderness. After all, the land area in the gathering place is limited. The food produced by a total of 7 plantations in the gathering area simply can't meet the consumption of 5,000–6,000 people in the gathering area. Working at the plantation outside the city is second only to joining a search team in terms of danger standards. It's also one of the dangerous industries that the residents try to get rid of. The No. 5 director Ding Quan is assigned to the No. 30 plantation. It's the safety zone responsible for the northern defense line. Su Heng arrived at the No. 7 guard post and he was sent personally by the chief staff, which made one military here envious. The man beside him heard that Su Heng is a tamer and the stocks that are on the vehicle are tamed beast food. The man was shocked upon hearing it and they immediately went down and helped Su Heng carry his goods. Su Heng tried to resist, but these men insisted. "It's fine. My surname is Huang. You can just call me Xiao Huang. Please take care of us," Xiao Huang stated. "No, you're older than me. I should call you Brother Huang from now on," Su Heng answered. Xiao Huang was emotional knowing that he met a humble tamer. He then ordered all the military in the area to quickly move Su Heng's things. There are a total of 29 sentry posts on the northern section's defense line, and Su Heng's No. 7 guard post on the northern section. 10 years ago, this place was demolished into ruins by a monster. No survivors were alive from that attack. Today's No. 7 post was rebuilt on the ruins. This will be the place where Su Heng fights. Xiao Huang got some noodles from the pot and handed them to Su Heng. He keeps addressing Su Heng as Lord, so Su Heng told him to call him by his name since they are all comrades here. Xiao Huang calls him brother instead and Su Heng does the same. Su Heng then asked them if the frequency of encountering dangerous species is high in this place. A military named Awen said that their defense system is regarded as the middle periphery, and the defense pressure is smaller than that of the outer area. But there are always some monsters that slip through here. Behind Su Heng are several monsters the workers hunted these few days. At the middle and end of every month, there will be officers who will come to this place to count the military merits and take the convoy from the city to transport these monsters away and give them military merit points. Su Heng was amazed upon hearing it. Xiao, who is curious about Su Heng's tamed beast, and he wanted to see it, but Xiao Huang scolded them because the tamed beast can't be summoned casually. Still, Su Heng summoned his dragon, causing the military to be dumbfounded because they knew that this dragon is a top danger species. "This is my summon the beast dragon," Su Heng uttered. While Xiao Hu is enjoying looking at the dragon unexpectedly uses his power might shock. Su Heng hit his dragon and he scolded it for being so rude. He also apologizes to Xiao Hu, but Xiao Hu is still amazed with the dragon despite that the dragon attacked him. Ah Wen teases him, and because of the dragon, Su Heng enjoyed his first day. After the meal, Su Heng got quite acquainted with those 5 brothers at the outpost. After some packing, Su Heng began to cultivate the mind training method, following the teacher's guide. The mind tempering method taught by the castle lord is called the crystal breathing tempering method and has 3 steps. First of all, it's to eliminate distracting thoughts and build a crystal meditation environment. He meditated and imagined himself as a crystal. The second is to cooperate with the wonderful special breathing frequency and let the mind gradually merge with the meditation environment. Lastly, the core of the tempering method is mind tempering. According to Su Heng's current progress, it'll take a long time to achieve the soul crystal that Zhuo mentioned. He might have to spend a half month or more. Genius like Bai Su took 1 month to fully cultivate it. While Su Heng is looking out the window, he noticed that the moon is really bright. He then saw an emergency light above the castle. Xiao Huang suddenly came, panicking, informing him that there's something bad happened. There are several species going to their area. Su Heng is looking at it using a telescope. According to him, this dangerous species has armor and sickle which can easily split bricks by swinging the knuckles of the sickle. He concludes that it's a group of mature species. As per Xiao Huang, sickle beasts are common in this area at the northern defense line. But this bug has a strong reproductive ability, only 4, and he believes that they shouldn't be hard to deal with. Xiao Huang called out the militaries and ordered them to prepare to fight. Lao Yu and he will be at the sentry machine gun. Ah Wen will snipe at the northwest. Xiao Hu and Xiao Lu will be at number 5 and number 6 shooting trench. Xiao Huang ordered Ah Wen and Hua Fu to execute 3 matured ones and keep the growing one for Su Heng. They then start shooting after Xiao Huang commands them. This danger species talent is sense and this bug type is armor coverage. When they shot the bug, the bullet was crippled, but then it still made the bug's coverage broken. According to Xiao Huang, bugs should not be hit by the head, otherwise, the corpse won't be worth much. Upon observing, Su Heng concludes that this sickle beast's armor coverage skill isn't strong, but it weakens normal bullets' attacks effect greatly. Using a machine gun to open the hole creates a chance for the sniper. Su Heng sight the bugs and the armor coverage needed to be hit several times for it to be broken. After what Su Heng witnessed, he got an idea of what the northern defense line was. Even though these people aren't tamers, they have great teamwork after being through countless fights together. It's strong enough to execute these beasts. While they shoot the bugs, they notice that one of them is running away. Xiao Hu, Xiao Huang, and Su Heng decided to chase it. They ride to a military vehicle and Xiao Hu is the one who controls the gun on top. When they saw the beast, they then seized the opportunity to block its way. Su Heng gets out of the vehicle and walks toward the beast. Xiao Huang ordered Xiao Hu to keep an eye on the beast and not let Su Heng get injured. Su Heng continuously walked to the beast and raised his tame seal to summon his dragon. His dragon fly, rushing to the bug, and is ready to attack using Devil Assault. The bug then activates its coverage skill, but then, the dragon still manages to break it in just one attack. Because of its force, the bug flew away. But still, the bug remains alive. Su Heng concludes that the armor blocked most of the attack so the bug didn't suffer much damage. He then ordered his dragon to use a shadow ball to continue to fire. The dragon then activates his shadow ball and shoots the bug continuously. The bug still used coverage skills and Su Heng noticed that the armor of this bug is quite tanky. He then told his dragon to activate his dragon-powered deterrence. The dragon then roared loudly which made the bug scared. Because of it, the dragon kept roaring, causing the ant to be wounded and run away. The dragon activates his earth spear sacrifice and the bug was struck by it. The 2 militaries were amazed at witnessing Su Heng and his dragon's skill. Xiao Hu then realized that Su Heng doesn't need their help. Even Xiong agreed that Su Heng is indeed a strong tamer. The next day, Xiao Hu shared with everyone what he witnessed last night. Xiao Huang said that Su Heng is different from the other first tamers who came to this area. No, everyone did well, Su Heng shyly answered. All of a sudden, one military officer reported that someone was coming. They all then rushed and checked it from above. They then found out that it was the convoy of the headquarter. Xiao Huang feels strange about it. Usually when counting merit, headquarter will come to sentry posts one by one, so he was confused why they come too early. While Su Heng is observing, there's someone on his mind. The trucks already entered the area. Commander-in-Chief of the Northern Defense Line, Lu Ling comes out from the vehicle. Xiao Huang with his companion greeted the commander-in-chief. Officer Huang, it's been so many years, yet nothing has changed, Lu Ling stated. Xiao Huang suddenly acted to look like he was flattered that the chief still remembered his name. Lu Ling then forgets about it and walks towards Su Heng to ask about his experience staying in the area. Su Heng casually addressed him as commander-in-chief, but Lu Ling held onto his shoulder, and it seems like he doesn't like what Su Heng called him. Third senior brother, nice to meet you, I'm used to living here, Su Heng answered. Lu Ling then patted his head and was glad that he used to live here. As per Lu Ling, his teacher has been telling them several times that he accepted a genius disciple again this time. He also heard from the chief of staff that Su Heng didn't get to see him when he arrived at headquarters. Last time Lu Ling missed it because he went to exterminate a group of bastards, but this time he came to especially see Su Heng. Xiao Huang and his companion were shocked upon hearing that Lu Ling only came for Su Heng. Xiao Huang thought that Su Heng was just a normal tamer. He never thought that he was really a disciple of the castle lord. Lu Ling then ordered these two militaries to count the harvest of the century in the past half-month, as he also wanted to talk with Su Heng privately. After they both left, Lu Ling asked Su Heng to summon his dragon. According to him, his teacher, who is also the castle lord, is giving him a mission to check Su Heng's growth status and then report it to him after. Su Heng was glad because he thought after he came outside of the city, he wouldn't care for him anymore. He never thought that his teacher would send someone to check him. He then summoned his dragon, which made Lu Ling surprised. The dragon landed on the ground and Lu Ling said that their teacher told him that it's not even 1 month since Su Heng hatched his dragon. Su Heng explained that his dragon circulates dragon energy after learning it, because of fighting these few days, so it grew fast. Lu Ling was amazed since Su Heng's dragon is much bigger than the one he raised back then. As per the castle lord, Lu Ling should check Su Heng's dragon's combat experience. He also has a dragon-type pet and will use it to test Su Heng's dragon. He then summoned it and it was called Rhinoceros. It's both earth and dragon-type danger species. Same as a dragon, a top danger species. He has nurtured it for full stage. With the characteristic of rough skin and thick flesh, it can resist attacks for a long time. It's also one of Lu Ling's main force. The rhinoceros tapped Su Heng's dragon's head, which frightened it. Su Heng then asked Lu Ling to go easy on his dragon and not kill it. Lu Ling smiled while saying that his rhinoceros knows when to stop. It won't bully and hurt your little one. He added, "All right, senior brother, bring it on." Su Heng's answer. Lu Ling ordered his rhinoceros to use ground trample and his rhinoceros then stomped on the ground, which made it crack. Su Heng and his dragon were frightened and realized that the rhinoceros had levitation. This is the benefit of being able to control mental power after mind tempering. He ordered his dragon to use Devil Assault and leave the attack range. His dragon jumped into his shoulder and held him tight. His dragon fly together with him to put him above the building. The dragon then activates his shadow ball and continues to hit the rhinoceros, but then, the rhinoceros remained unscathed. Su Heng believes that his current dragon can't possibly defeat the rhinoceros. He still tried to give an order to his dragon to use speed advantage and attack it from all directions. The dragon then followed his order and tried his best to attack the rhinoceros in a different area. He still used Shadow Ball to attack his opponent, but it only leave a little bruise. Su Heng ordered to absorb his dragon's health. The rhinoceros did the same thing. They both have green flames surrounding their bodies. And now, Su Heng's dragon activates Earth Spear Sacrifice, but it did not work to defeat the rhinoceros. When the rhinoceros used the same skill, Su Heng's dragon flew away. Su Heng immediately ran as he was worried for his dragon. Lu Ling laughed while admitting that Su Heng's tactics are good, but then, according to him, his rhinoceros has already reached rank 9, which was way too easy to defeat Su Heng's dragon's Earth Spear Sacrifice. "Senior brother, didn't you ask me to use all the tactics so you could finish the mission teacher has given to you?" Su Heng's confusedly asked. "My bad, but I roughly understand a dragon's combat ability," Lu Ling answered. As Lu Ling saw to Su Heng's dragon's ability, he believes that the castle lord will be satisfied. He also said that Su Heng's dragon's growth speed is much faster than his. Not long after Su Heng left, winter began, and the outpost is very cold. There's no wall as tall as a gathering place to block winter cold whistling from the north. Without any electrical appliances or heating, the only thing to lean on seems to be sleeping bags. Alwen complained about the weather, so his companion joked around, suggesting him to be a tamer like Su Heng that has mind protection so he isn't feeling cold. While they are talking, the siren suddenly rang. They quickly get up and Xiao Huang informed them that he received a call from the number 3 checkpoint in the northern section saying that plantation number 25 is invaded by a group of dangerous species. He then gives his men their designated area and Su Heng will come with him together with Xiao Hu. They then rushed and did not waste more time. Xiao Hu, Xiao Wang, and Su Heng ride in the truck and talked about the number 25 plantation. It said that the area has been invaded completely and many dangerous species have entered the place as per Xiao Wang. All plantations workers are trapped in workers' dormitories, currently relying on broken guns distributed by the security department to defend. But sooner or later they might die. The support of number 3 and 4 outposts, along with the main forces of the 2 nearby outposts, are almost fully dispatched, and they will all gather at the plantation. Before 4 a.m., they should gather and attack at 4 a.m. Currently, the time is 3:40 a.m. so Xiao Huang ordered Xiao Hu to drive faster. After a while, they arrive at the plantation area number 25 and northwest area number 6 gate. Huang then reported themselves to the higher-ups. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Till next time.